So, when is the true Lion's Gate? It is now officially summer. I'm recording this on 7/7, and we are going to see more and more hype around 8/8 Lionsgate, manifest magic, abundance, all of that jazz. We're going to be seeing more and more of that as the summer progresses, as we approach 8/8. So many people host events, meditations, activations, and that's why I feel so compelled to put this out there because what that has become is a massive loosh ritual, essentially. So this video is part two of two. In part one, I went a little deeper into the portal dates like 7/7 and 8/8 and how they've become hijacked, how there's not really an organic coding behind them. But there is a true Lion's Gate. And so in this video, what I really want to focus on is what is the true Lion's Gate and why there's a lot of galactic and cosmological, astronomical, and astrological resonance pointing to this date rather than 8/8, which is based on the Gregorian calendar, right? So the problem with 8/8 is that it hijacks attention away from the organic conjunctions. And there is a conjunction with a very particular star, Regulus. Regulus is the heart of the lion and the Lyran gateway. So we're going to get into all of this, the role of Regulus, the Lyran-Leo connection, the Sphinx, and going a little deeper into the esoteric underpinnings of why this is probably the true Lion's Gate. So the Regulus-Sun conjunction in late August, the way I perceive it, the way that I have been, I've been doing the research and going deeper into it. So this is what I see is the true Lion's Gate gateway, because it is a conjunction of the Sun and Regulus, which is in the heart of Leo. So that right there actually makes a lot of sense, opening the heart of the lion. And so this is bringing through a lot of divine royal coding as well, activating our heart chakras, activating the courage, the leadership codes as well. So there's a lot there that actually already points to this being more naturally, organically what the true Lion's Gate is. The neighborhood dogs just went crazy. So there's got to be something there, right? So what I see coming through this is the masculine solar codes really activating, coming online to service the Sophia wisdom codes that are activated in the Sirius gateway in early July. So Sirius was associated with Isis, the divine feminine coding. And so this is when those womb codes and star memories really become activated. And then the masculine codes come online, the divine protector, the guardian comes online to really play that provider protector role on an energetic level. So Regulus is also known as Alpha Leonis. It is one of the four royal stars, according to some ancient esoteric traditions. So they're often known as the watchers or guardians of the heavens, and this includes the heart of the lion, that is Regulus, in the Leo constellation, as well as Aldebaran, Antares, and Fomalhaut. I might be butchering the pronunciation of that one. But they mark the cardinal directions, and they played a significant role in the ancient astronomy and astrology, particularly Persian astrology. So these stars were believed to hold immense energetic and spiritual significance. They were pillars of galactic alignment and cosmic order, marking the cosmic clock, if you will. So Regulus, again, watches the north. And I was really feeling into that. And I was like, is it the original organic North Star coding that it truly holds? Is that another layer? So I'm going to get a little deeper into that in a moment. So around August 21st to 23rd, we have this Sun and Regulus conjunction every year. And this year, 2025, it happens to be exactly August 22nd. Okay, so we have the Sirius Gateway early in the summer that has kind of been co-opted by 7/7. And then we have Lionsgate the end of August, which was shifted to 8/8. Yes, numerology is beautiful, but what they have done, the New Age distortions, is to hijack the true organic alignments, the cosmic galactic alignments, and take us out of that divine cosmological order. So we're disconnected from the true gateways. We're disconnected from the true coding of what is held, what is possible if we actually open ourselves up with protection in place, of course, with intention and protection, and allow ourselves to be activated by these alignments. So it's not just an alignment with the sun and Regulus in the heart of Leo. There is also the Lyran gateway that gets activated. So this then opens us up with that alignment into a very high frequency, higher dimensional coding to be accessed, to be activated so that we can remember these codes that we contain within. So in late August, this is really when it's meant to be. So it's solar, it's galactic, it is royal coding as well. So this amplifies, again, divine rightful leadership. It contains both the solar Christ and the solar feminine aspects of embodiment. We're moving from Leo to Virgo at that time as well, according to tropical astrology. So this is very much grail kingship and grail queen sovereignty coding coming in. So it kind of makes sense when you understand the workings of the matrix why things would have been distorted and hijacked, because there's a lot of very, very potent coding that comes through this gateway. So again, this is when the sun activates the heart of the lion. It activates our hearts. It activates these royal leadership codes within all of us when we allow ourselves to connect with it. And then again, we have this alignment with Lyra. So when you think about Lyra, you also might think of the word lyre, which is that harp. A golden harp energy coming through. So the name itself has associations with music and harmony. So this is really pointing to the symphony of the spheres idea, the harmony that is contained in the reflection of the night sky as a mirror for us to come into harmony within. As above, so below, but the firmament, however we perceive the firmament, there's a few different perspectives on that. So I'm not going to get deep into that in this particular video, but there could be a lot of distortion because of the distortions of our matrix reality. And at the same time, there is a true organic coding that is available to us the way I perceive it. So for the Lyra portal to activate, the sun is in conjunction with Regulus in Leo, and Sirius is also in conjunction with Regal in Orion. So that's another interesting aspect here, Orion coming into play, because what a lot of people see as the Lion's Gate is, or they say that Orion is in alignment with the pyramids, and that's not true at this point of the year. So that's another distortion. The pyramids were built as a mirror of Orion with the same precise, dimensions of the slight angle in the three stars. But this is not the time of year when they're in alignment. I'll get into that in a moment. But Regal of Orion is activated, and this is reflected in the actual sky itself, not just our matrix astrology and stuff like that, which I still feel holds a lot of value, to be clear. But this also then connects us connects the heart of the earth. So us, our hearts, the heart of Gaia, and all the different dimensional aspects of ourselves going up into the heart of Lyra, and then activating the aurora coding of earth, which is the highest frequency coding, the way I connect with it. So this is how this is all activated. Basically, we're bridging through the cosmic heart. So this brings through crystal seed activations, our soul coding coming online, DNA upgrades, and soul remembrance then coming through these upgrades and activations. So again, very potent, very activating. And then this gets us into the mystery of the Sphinx. So, what is the Sphinx? Why was it really built? When was it built? There's a lot of questions around it. And, a lot of people are connecting with the truth, but there's also still so many mysteries about the Sphinx and the pyramids and all the megaliths around the world. So, many believe that the Sphinx originally faced Regulus during the age of Leo itself. So that would have been around 10,500 BC. So about 13,000 years ago. So that is when many people say it was built to honor that solar royal human guardianship aspect. So that guardian energy, again, coming through Regulus as the guardian of the North Star energy, also, coming to mind here again. And there's another interesting tidbit about that, which I will get into in a moment. When I was in my inquiry, I did a little bit more research. I was like, interesting. So it is suggested that the Sphinx was constructed when the vernal equinox occurred with the sun in when it was in the age of Leo. That was again roughly 13,000 years ago. So a very specific alignment. So then it is said that that Regulus is said to hold the keys to the Hall of Records, speculated to be under the Sphinx. So this is getting really interesting now. Another layer, perhaps, as to why the original Lionsgate coding was hijacked to keep us separated from this activation potential. If Regulus is said to hold the keys to the Hall of Records and, within the Sphinx, then what if it's also reflective of activating the keys within to activate the divine remembrance, to activate our own records, our own ability to access our true soul records that help us to remember who we really are and who we came here to be, our purpose, our mission, our coding. So the Sphinx was a cosmic marker of time from this perspective, and this time, 10,500 BC, aligns with the ending of the Ice Age in essence. So the glaciers would have been melting, old lands would have been going under, aka the floods, and the sun was quite literally then arising from the dark underworld of the Ice Age, is one way to look at it from a kind of esoteric lens. So again, this Lyran Leo connection is being amplified here. So Lyra is the origin point of many Christed and feline humanoid soul lineages. Take this as it resonates, right? But Lyra is meant to be 10th dimensional to 12th dimensional. So very, very high frequency beings. So the Lyran Elohai, the royal lion beings, the feline Christos lineages. If that resonates with you, this might be for you especially. And if it doesn't totally resonate, that's fine, just like interesting tidbits. But the Leo constellation, with Regulus, the heart of the lion, again, they carry the Earth-based stargate, is one way to look at this. It's the stargate anchor for those Lyran energies to come through. So specifically, the Lyran solar Christ lineages will be highly activated at this time, even if it's subconsciously, unconsciously, working with them on the DNA level, right? You might feel it on some level of your being without truly understanding the galactic connections, you're still going to feel some level. But the more conscious you are of these connections, the more you're going to be able to integrate and activate with a level of conscious awareness, moving you forward in a direction of your North Star. So as the sun conjuncts Regulus, this is when it activates the Lyran gateway. So this then opens that direct channel to Lyra, and the original cosmic family diamond sun template of the Christos-Sophia lineages can then be really highly activated at this time. So I have been highly activated in summertime. The last several summers since I've been on this journey, especially, I have been receiving very specific activations, very, very beautiful journeys that come through. For anybody who has never done one of my journeys, the Diamond Sun Emerald Grail activation that was on the summer solstice, somebody new to me did it, and she was like, this is the most, like, more visuals than I've done in any kind of guided meditation of any kind, even more than like plant medicine. She was equating it to taking plant medicine. They're very beautiful visuals that come through. So these keys were given to me actually when I was in Egypt myself. I was between the paws of the Sphinx itself, and I had this necklace on and it broke, but the necklace itself, and it was the first time I wore the necklace. I had bought it specifically for this journey in Egypt, and at the bottom was an ankh, the key of life, and then the string around it was these tiny crystal seed beads, clear crystal quartz. And the necklace broke. But what did it do? It broke the loop. I was thinking about it this morning. That layer just came through this morning. The key of life was activated. I was activating my own keys and breaking the loops, the cycles. And then I was brought on a whole deep journey. It was just the start of a deeper journey that I actually had to embody, obviously. But there was a lot of layers to what actually happened for me between the paws of the Sphinx. And then that same evening, we were in the Great Pyramid and in the King's Chamber. And I was activated with these keys, these very particular keys. They're frequency keys. And the idea of the octave came through and everything. And it was just really, really fascinating. And the more I've gone on this journey, the more layers about what really happened came through. So the Sphinx, Regulus, and the age of Leo kind of create this memory key for all of us, especially those containing particular codings of the solar grail lineages, for example. And the original divine human blueprint, the angelic human blueprint that is being activated within us. So getting back into the fact that it is the guardian of the North, I found this to be really interesting. So in the Persian literature, it is Vanant. It is known as Vanant. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but it is associated with the summer solstice and combating demonic forces. I found that to be very fascinating, in particular, considering how much 8/8 has been hijacked by dark energies and entities. So we're being taken out of that original coding, and having that layer of guardianship and power and warrior energy kind of deactivated or separated from us. We're separated from that coding when we're not in true alignment. So Regulus, even though it's not, astronomically, it's not the North Star, like where we're at, the North Star is Polaris. The matrix revolves around Polaris. But it might be more esoterically speaking anyway, the North Star, like our spiritual North Star in the heart of the lion. To me, that just makes a lot of sense, like, viscerally. It feels more accurate. I'm not going to pretend I have all the answers about the ideas of the firmament and all of that, because I think there's different perspectives on that could be true, that are not necessarily so literal. So I take it with a grain of salt right now. Again, so it's the cosmic guardian of truth, kingship, divine law. So this is that Leo rulership energy coming through. So the question is, have modern New Age narratives deliberately blurred the line between the true North Star, like following our North Star, our inner compass? What if our inner compass has been skewed from the truth? And, obscuring the true solar alignments in tandem, the true lion-hearted gateway, right? So what if this was all kind of a deliberate distortion placed in ourselves, placed in the skies and the gateways and the alignments, yada, yada, yada. So, Venant is not a very well-known entity, but the essence is victory over darkness and demons. So I feel like for us to reclaim that now at this point in our collective evolution is really, really important. So yeah, let's do it. So he's the celestial warrior aligned with the god of light. So specifically against Ahriman, which is the force of darkness. And anybody who studies or has ever come across Steiner's teachings knows that Ahriman and Lucifer are the two darker forces. And so this is the battle of the light versus the dark, but there's two different beast systems. We can look at it as satanic versus Luciferian as well. So there is this association with the summer solstice in the northern direction. So this again amplifies that idea of cosmic turning point. So that when the light is at its peak strength, battling the darkness. So we can take this purely esoterically as a reflection of our inner battles with demons as well, right? Our inner demons that we're battling, the shadows, So this theme very much parallels these false king timelines that are collapsing right now, and the battle of the dark that is represented by them versus the light represented by the Christos-Sophia lineages. So this does, to me, again, kind of suggest that this would be the true Lion's Gate when that guardian energy is activated against the dark matrix. So take this as you will right now, but that's how I was really feeling into it and processing it. So Orion's belt and the pyramids, when does that alignment happen? So there are 3 stars in Orion's belt, Alnitak, Alnilam, Alnilam, and Mintaka. Mintaka is probably the most well-known. There's a lot of beautiful water coating with it. It's also the one that is known to have been destroyed. So to me, I've felt into that before, kind of the destruction of the Holy Trinity. And there's a lot of feminine coating with Mintanka, a lot of water coating. So that Sophianic consciousness kind of getting destroyed, plunging us into duality is one way that I have looked at that personally. So the Orion's belt then mirrors the layout of the 3 pyramids. This is pretty well known, but the precise alignment with Orion and Giza is actually meant to be in the pre-dawn hours of early December. So December 3rd through 7th, it's kind of more of a winter solstice coding at that point. Ophiuchus, to be really technical, if we're looking at the galactic sky, which is the alchemy. It's also the opening of the golden gate to the celestial realms at that time of year. So there's a lot there, and the encoding is with Orion, Osiris. So they're seen as the reflection of the divine masculine and also the man energy. So it's a very interesting dynamic that we're really delving into right now. There's way too much to share in this video. My intention was not to do another 40-minute video, but so again, here we have another potential, just because people don't do the deeper work. They hear the thing from their favorite guru and they're like, oh my gosh, this is what it is. I fell for the Lion's Gate earlier on in my journey that it was 8-8. But I still also was very viscerally being activated through the summer months, through these gateways. So I was feeling a lot of potent, ramped up energy. I was feeling a lot of activation energy. I was receiving downloads, but I was connecting it to the wrong thing. It wasn't because of the calendar date 8/8, right? So again, in inverted dynamics of the matrix, dark priesthood energies are distorting new age, creating distractions through these portals to disconnect us from our organic stellar consciousness, from our organic galactic and cosmic connections. So it's also become very commercialized, and then it just becomes this spiritualized rhetoric of manifest more. You are the creator of your reality, but it kind of gets distorted and hijacked, and you become opened up, and they can literally hook into you. So we are really being called right now to remember the true guardianship codes of the lion, that it is not about me, service to self, that it is about service to the all from an overflowing cup of love. And yes, we get to be fully resourced in abundance of all things. But are we trying to manifest out of our ego or from the perspective of our soul to be of higher service is a really key distinction here. So this is the restoration of divine kingship, divine authority, divine rulership, but the ruler and authority of your own inner being, of your own sovereign world, right? So this is, again, the battle between aligned solar consciousness and the Antichrist Ahrimanic forces. So we are at the brink right now of those dark energies dissipating, but that doesn't mean we're there yet. From the grander perspective, yes, we're experiencing massive shifts, but this is not a time to be complacent. I want to be really clear about that. A lot of people, especially in the New Age communities and the spiritual communities, are saying, the light has won and everything's going to be easy. And to a degree, like, we might feel embodied in that love and light, but that doesn't mean the entire collective is out of the woods. And we all have different roles. We all have different, things we are here to do, different missions we are here to serve. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of work left to do. And, the front line is still very much active, is one way to look at this. So right now, again, we just have to exercise caution about these portal dates, where we're placing our energy, and using high levels of discernment. So if you want to go deeper, I am offering, not on 8/8, I am offering 2 more activations this summer. I've had the inspiration for a Magdalene Blue Rose activation, and then on 8/22, True Lion's Gate, divine royal leadership, cosmic galactic energies are coming through. The full inspiration usually lands for me like right before it, but what I'm feeling is royal star leadership coding in particular coming through for this. So then we also have the Defense Against the Dark Arts 2-part masterclass. So end of July, early September, actually on it. 9/9 was a good day for me. So 9/9 to speak of portal days. But yeah, so the numerology is still nice, but we're going to literally be doing Defense Against the Dark Arts. So putting that out into the sphere as well. So this is going to be basically level 1 because there's a lot to learn about this stuff, but really ramping up energetic protection, clearing, knowing how to handle this kind of stuff, psychic attack. So we're learning psychic defense, energetic clearing and protection, but really specific tools, not just like pour white light down around you. Like, we're going deeper into it. That's nice, and it helps sometimes to a degree. But we're learning like legitimate tools, like Hogwarts style, but without the wands. And you are the wand, you are the magic, you are the key. But we also need to know what we're doing. We actually have to take ownership and mastery and leadership and authority over this stuff, because they're just out there having a field day in the astral realms. And a lot of people have no idea they have entities and attachments on them. And people are suffering in pain and shame and guilt for far too long. It's really unnecessary for the amount of suffering that is happening on the planet for it to be happening, but we have to know how to end the cycles, end the loops, and clear our fields from all the hooks, cords, attachments that allow this to happen, to seal our field, to heal the pain, the wounds, the trauma. And so this is, to help ramp up your toolkit to be able to do that. And then there will be no places for people to hook into. You will be able to help others with this stuff too. And this is how humanity creates heaven on earth. This is how we do it. I should grab my book right now. I can't reach it. Let there be light, liberating the heart of humanity to create heaven on earth. That's what this is about. This is why we're here. In my humble opinion. Yes, I wrote a book about it, but it's a guidebook. And yeah, I've gotten really amazing feedback. Just more people need to read it. I would love for at least 1 million people to read it. So yeah, let's get it out there. And people have given me incredible feedback on it personally, as well as in the reviews. You can see the reviews that yes, people are getting value out of it. It is worth your while. And the audiobook should be coming soon. But I will drop the links for everything, including the masterclasses. My brand new website is finally ready to go, and how to work with me one-on-ones, as well as these particular masterclasses and activations that I mentioned, which are all available inside my membership. It's actually going to be a lot more accessible, and you get a lot more magic with that. And then my full deep dive multidimensional mastery school is opening as well. And so you'll get access to all of that and a lot more if you're interested in, properly joining Hogwarts, real life Hogwarts. I keep calling it that because yes, I love Harry Potter. But anyway, thank you so much for being here. And yes, a lot more to come, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for likes, subscribes, comments, of course. Yes, it helps the channel. It helps other people see these videos, but also I'm really enjoying the conversations. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you again soon.